This video has been prepared as a companion overview to your inmate guidebook and is a tool to assist you in adjusting to confinement and to assist you in planning and preparing for your return as a productive member of the community. We won't cover all the rules and regulations of this center, but we'll give you an overview. For more details, consult your inmate guidebook. Your confinement here can and should be a period of growth and development in productive and constructive living. Take advantage of this time and prepare yourself for the future. All of the detention center personnel are committed to assisting you with adjusting to confinement and planning for a constructive future. Help us help you. Adhere to the rules in your guidebook, and your stay will be as productive and as worthwhile as you can make it.
The Warden of the Corrections Division of the Sheriff's Office is authorized by regulation and law to establish policies, procedures, and rules necessary for the safe and secure operation of the detention center. Inmates are notified in writing of any new policy, procedure, or practice that affects them. As an inmate, it is your responsibility to learn, understand, and follow all detention center rules and regulations, as well as all lawful commands issued by anyone acting in an official capacity in the detention center. If you don't understand any portion of your guidebook, a member of the staff will review it with you. Inmates must respect all rights and property of all correctional employees, as well as those of fellow inmates and visitors. Remember, your behavior dictates the condition of your confinement and the privileges or lack thereof afforded you. When first brought to this center, your personal possessions were inventoried, bagged, labeled, and placed in a property locker. All inmates can request to keep one watch, a wedding ring, underwear, socks, and a pair of shoes in their possession. No boots are allowed. The Sheriff's Office is not responsible for any personal items you keep in your cell. The identification badge you were issued upon admission to this facility must be worn and be visible at all times. Clip it to your shirt pocket or to the left bottom of a t-shirt. You could be disciplined if not wearing your badge properly, and you will be assessed a fee and placed on disciplinary report if you remove, alter, or destroy this identification. Your badge is necessary for all facility services, such as commissary, meals, etc. The detention center clothing you are issued is the only outer clothing you may wear. Check your guidebook for a complete list of allowable clothing. You are responsible for all detention center clothing and property issued you. When you are released, all items will be inspected, and any item found damaged beyond normal wear will be deducted from your personal financial account. At your committal, an in-house financial account was created in your name using whatever monetary means you have available. You may use this account to purchase allowable clothing and personal items from the commissary, and also pay for stamped envelopes, telephone calls, and incidental expenses. Additional funds for this account can be provided by your relatives and friends. Deposit methods are covered in your guidebook. The commissary is available for you to make purchases once per week. Use the kiosk in the housing area to place an order. When your order is delivered to you, make sure it is complete, and then sign the receipt. Your friends and family may place orders for you by going to www.marylandpackage.com or mdcountypackages.com or by calling the phone number in the guidebook. When you order from the commissary, be sure to note the limits on allowable articles specified on the request form. Items that exceed these limits are considered contraband and can be confiscated. You could also face disciplinary action. By law, supervision, control, and authority over inmates is the sole responsibility of our staff. It can never be delegated to inmates, and inmates supervising inmates is forbidden. Violations of this policy should be immediately reported to the staff shift supervisor. Frequent unannounced searches are conducted here on a regular basis. You could be subject to a frisk search, a strip search, a body cavity search, and the search of your cell and the day room. Under normal circumstances, frisk searches are conducted by correctional officers of the same gender as you. However, in case of an emergency, and at the direction of the shift supervisor, cross-gender searches are allowed. All officers are trained to conduct cross-gender pat-down searches and searches of transgender and intersex inmates in a professional and respectful manner, and in the least intrusive manner possible consistent with security needs. We will have scheduled and unscheduled head counts of inmates. 10 minutes prior to any count, all movement in the detention center ceases. Stand next to your cell door or your bunk as directed. Inmates may be locked in their cells during any count. In case of an emergency, such as fire alarm activation or severe weather threat, all inmates could be moved to a more secure location or even evacuated. If an evacuation is ordered, assemble in a single file near the exit of the pod and proceed, when directed, to the evacuation site in a calm and orderly manner. Personal items are left in your cell. Periodic fire and evacuation drills are held to familiarize you and the staff with these procedures. In the case of a weather emergency, like a tornado or hurricane warning, follow the staff's lockdown instructions and do it quickly and safely. Diagrams for emergency evacuation routes are in the back of your guidebook. Review them now so you are prepared. If you are sick with a minor illness or have a medical concern, complete a CCS healthcare request form. Sick call patients are seen by a doctor according to a posted schedule, usually most weekday mornings beginning at 6 a.m. In case of a life-threatening medical emergency, you may be transported to a hospital with an escort and all necessary restraints as determined by the shift supervisor. State law says that your medical care from the doctor is covered by the county. However, you, the inmate, are responsible for reimbursement to St. Mary's County. You are responsible for providing information about any health plan you have. If you are hospitalized, you are responsible for medical expenses and must disclose the existence of any coverage you have. Assistance is available through Medicaid. For inpatient hospitalization, complete and sign a Medicaid application. See your guidebook for more about medical coverage and billing. At this facility, we are committed to helping combat the opioid epidemic. If opioid abuse has been a problem for you, ask a staff member for an inmate request form to enroll in the state naloxone and Vivitrol programs. Upon your release, this could save your life and help release you from the grip of harmful and illegal drugs. Keeping yourself clean is important, and you have the opportunity here to shower on a daily basis. All inmates are required to shower at least 3 times per week. Remember, if you grow a beard or shave one off after initial processing, you must have a new ID photo taken. A new ID photo is also required if you get a haircut that radically changes your appearance. By the way, if you desire a haircut, you have that opportunity every month. Submit a request to your housing unit correctional officer. It is your responsibility to keep your cell clean. Inspections are daily, and telephone and television privileges are withheld until each respective area of the facility has passed inspection. Laundry is collected and done twice per week. Check your guidebook for details. Unless you've lost your privileges, you may have 3 on-site visits by visitors per week according to the rules published in your guidebook. Your family and friends can also do video visits using a home computer or an Android cell phone, and there is no weekly limit to these visits. Family and friends need to register for an account and schedule visits online at www.icsolutions.com. They may also register and schedule visits at the video kiosk in the detention center lobby. Your guidebook has more details on limits and restrictions. Ask the staff if you have questions. All adult visitors must have proper legal ID. There are telephones available in your pod area and in work release for outgoing prepaid and debit calls. They are available daily after all cells and day rooms have passed inspection and are turned off at 11 p.m. There are no set time limits, but a correctional officer may direct you to terminate your call within 5 minutes. Failure to comply will result in the telephone being deactivated. Incoming calls are not allowed. Any attempt to circumvent or subvert the automated features of the phone system will result in disciplinary charges. There is a zero-tolerance policy here related to sexual victimization, abuse, and harassment, and that includes any unwanted touching, advances, or pressure to engage in sex by an inmate or staff member. Threats, sexual jokes, and abusive language fall under this policy. Report all instances of sexual misconduct immediately. Your guidebook has information on how to report abuse. Silence is the enemy, so don't delay. Also, be sure to watch our video on PREA, the Prison Rape Elimination Act. You, the inmate, have the right to present grievances and complaints regarding detention center policies, procedures, rules, and practices. If you have a grievance, submit an inmate grievance form to a correctional officer who will either attempt to resolve the issue or forward the complaint to appropriate staff. If you are not satisfied by the result, you may appeal directly to the warden in writing within 3 working days. In most situations, you may review information in your case file. Make a written request to the warden and state the purpose for the review. If you wish to challenge the accuracy of the file's contents, make a written request to the warden, who will reply within 10 working days. The warden's decision may be appealed in writing, but indicate to a staff member you wish to make that appeal within 2 days. Work release and work incentive programs are available to qualified inmates. If you have shown through good behavior, good attitude, and willingness to work, you may qualify to work inside and perhaps outside this facility in the Work Incentive Program. Make an inmate request to see if you qualify. If you've been authorized by the court for work release, you could be admitted to the program, provided you qualify within the rules and regulations. You will be interviewed soon after your initial processing. Note that failure to comply with the rules could mean that your work release status is revoked. Both the work incentive and work release programs are privileges based on your good behavior. There are many other rehabilitative and educational programs available to you. See your guidebook's chapter on detention center programs for complete descriptions. There is a section in the back of your guidebook on conduct and discipline. If you are accused of violating detention center rules and regulations, you could face the disciplinary board and potentially lose privileges, good time, and receive punitive segregation. Read your guidebook carefully from front to back. Most of the forms we discussed are near the back of the book. Help the detention center help you make the most of your incarcerated time, and your return to the outside world will be smoother and more rewarding.